So, ladies and gentlemen, as a continuation on from the last module talking about cold email 101, in today's module we are talking about cold email automation and specifically how to use Lemlist, which is an incredible tool in order to speed up your cold email workflow. Now, this is going to be a very heavy plug and play module. So once again, all the sort of nitty gritty stuff, I'm still going to skim over it with you, but with all that stuff, make sure you refer to the plug and plays available right below this video. And on that note, let's get into it. So ladies and gentlemen, as I said, welcome to another module inside of Agency Navigator and a continuation of this series on cold emails. Now today we'll be covering the creation of an automated email script. Now this can also be used in manual outreach, so bear that in mind. Next, I'm actually going to show you how to set up your Lemlist account, and I'm also going to walk you through creating your first campaign. So in today's teachings, as I said, we're going to go over how to create your script utilizing segues, hooks, mail merges, and more, setting up your Lemlist account, how to structure a Lemlist campaign, and then within campaigns, how to actually use different campaign flows and utilizing them. So let's get into it. So ladies and gentlemen, creating your script. So as you can see right here, this plug and play is available down below. Now, the first thing that you're actually going to need is a warmed up email address. Now, there is no such thing as the perfect email script. And while you will find numerous examples of outreach scripts inside of Agency Navigator, not only, within modules like these and within plug and plays like these. So, there's going to be many examples that you can go to, but it's important to note that even though one agency owner might achieve a high open click-through rate and response rate with one script, another one might fail to achieve even just a single open. And I think I've kind of mentioned this to you guys already, but there are multiple variables outside of just the script. And once again, that includes niche, service offering, lead quality, geography, and sending times. And really it's your job to kind of play around with these and find what variables work best for you. Now, in terms of reporting and kind of KPIs to understand what makes a successful email script, you need to look at open rate, click-through rate, and response rate. And bear in mind that the lower down these goes, like response rate is the most important thing, right? Because you could have 100% open rate, but if no one responds, then like each one of these is a better determinant of your email script than the last. But you can also, once again, look at a kind of combination of these variables to understand that, let's say early on to using a new email script, you may not get tons of responses yet, but based on an open rate or click-through rate, it can kind of give you a estimation of whether it's going to be successful or not. Now, in terms of subject lines, as mentioned above, the subject lines are the most important element of any email script because most email inboxes are deluged with thousands of emails a month from friends, family, colleagues, as well as updates from hundreds of platforms they subscribe to. And the list goes on and on. And the result is that unlike text messages, the majority of emails go unopened. So standing out in someone's email inbox really comes down to three things: familiarity, urgency, and pattern interrupt. Now, familiarity is difficult to achieve with just your subject line, but to achieve it, ask the question, what would an email subject line from, your mom or your best friend look like? And here's a couple examples. Can you check X? We need this. Drinks tomorrow? Question mark, question mark. Next, let's talk about urgency because it's relatively straightforward, but it is very easy to get wrong and to come across as spammy. So here's a couple examples. First one, urgent, FAO, and then you can put their first name. Response needed, problem detected, fix immediately. Next, we've got pattern interrupts. Now, these are the most useful tools to deploy with subject lines because they will require something which interrupts the pattern of the individual scanning their inbox. Now, this can be achieved with unusual formatting, a select choice of words, numbers, symbols, or even something more unusual. Importantly, these can be combined with genuine subject lines. Now, these are less likely to wind people up or make them think that they have been tricked, which obviously can lead to instant dismissal of the email once it's open. So here's some examples. Coffee, dash, first name, do you have time? Only 16.3 seconds left. We need to talk. Now, once again, just remember that these are not mutually exclusive and can be combined. Now, let's talk about icebreakers, because icebreakers are the first thing that your recipient will read. They are incredibly important and vital, not just to capture their attention, but to avoid the perception that your email has been sent out to multiple accounts. Consider this email right here, and you can go ahead and read it. The company sending this has attempted to include an icebreaker after their initial introduction. My team really likes what you do. But let's be honest, this comes across as insincere and completely unpersonalized. Now consider something like this. This icebreaker suggests that the individual has gone to lengths to actually watch my YouTube channel, binge watch my content and compliment a specific video. This is far more likely to engender a response, or even just the recipient reading the rest of the email. Now note, icebreakers and personalization is time consuming, so read our full guide to them right here. Next, we have mail merges. Now, automated email scripts should always include mail merges. This is vital for the greeting salutation, hi Eman, and useful but not essential for the body copy. So email should always begin with hi, hey, greetings from first name, right? If you are using manual outreach, this is super easy to input, right? But if you're using Lemlist, make sure to use their automated mail merge inputs. And the formatting looks like that. Now, in the body copy of the email, it's tempting to continue to use mail mergers to create the illusion of personalization. And whilst, this is useful, it can also backfire. Let me give you an example right here. And I hate to break it to you, first name, but I'm seeing a lot of these problems in your businesses. Now, this comes across as just kind of creepy, right? Like patronizing and kind of overfamiliar. As a general rule, if you wouldn't write something like that in an email to a friend, family member, or colleague, you shouldn't write it in email outreach. But it is possible to use mail merge within other elements of the body copy. For example, look at this. Pretty much every single one of company names competitors are running Facebook ads. Now this can be applied to hundreds of leads and does not appear overly familiar, but instead creates the impression that you have done your due diligence in researching your recipient's business. Now let's talk about segues. Now the segue is a small but important part of your email. It goes between the icebreaker and the hook, and it's your way of conveying authentically how you came to be emailing the recipient. Let me give you an example. And whilst I was on your business, I actually noticed that you didn't have a Facebook pixel installed. Now we're looking at wearable tech currently, and I was genuinely excited by the prospect of working with you. Next, let's look at hooks. Now hooks are more accurately expressed as, why am I sending you this email? After your salutation and icebreaker, it's time to explain to your recipient why you emailed them in the first place. Now there are two hooks you can use in your email: problem and pitch. Now problem emails are the bread and butter of email outreach. As discussed previously, it's important to test each and every email you send with the following question: would you send it to a family member, a friend, or a colleague? Now, problem emails pass this test easily. You would point out to someone you were close with an issue that they had with their website. Next is pitch emails. Now, these are a little bit more difficult to get right because they require impressive results or a timely opportunity. For example, if you sent an email letting someone know that momentarily you could get their Instagram account verified or increase the conversion rate of their website by a high percentage, this would be a compelling enough hook. Last, we have CTAs. Now, call to actions are the main objective of your email. CTAs are controversial in the world of cold emails, and many people recommend that you only include CTAs after the first email in the chain, or only use the affirmation CTA and then follow up with something that requires more commitment. Now, this is a personal decision. There's many ways to skin a cat, but you should be aware that for most people, if they receive an email and they have to take further action to achieve information, they'll most likely not do so. You need to understand that if they're receiving an email and at the end of the day, email really is a numbers game. And you need to understand that if you catch them at the right time and everything is compelling enough, and then they also need to try to draw more information out of you to take the next step, you're really kind of putting up a barrier for them to move forward, and you're adding a lot of friction that doesn't need to be there. So that's why for me personally, I believe it's wise to include at least one obvious CTA that can be referred to in follow-up emails. Next, we have sign-offs. Now, sign-offs may seem incredibly straightforward, but sign-offs actually form a vital part of micro-communication that will determine the way in which your email is interpreted. Keep it semi-formal and friendly. Two examples right here: speak soon, Eman, or thanks, Eman. Next, also consider a PS. People often skip to the end of emails, ignoring the body copy completely. It also serves as a final reminder and opportunity for you to make their response a no-brainer or include a reminder for your CTA. Next, we have follow-up /cadence /frequency. Now, automated email scripts tend to follow a 4-email format. Initial email, the follow-up email from the first email, and really this is just a polite nudge. Next, this is the explainer email. This is the one that goes into more detail. And then the last one after that is the breakup email. That's the one that gives the recipient one last chance to respond or take action. Now, these should be sent in the following cadence. Obviously, first email sent on day 1, second email sent the day after, the next one sent 2 days after you send the email before that, and then the next one sent 2 days after you send the email before that. And the follow-up should be formatted as personalized salutation, icebreaker, segue, and then in terms of the formatting of the emails, you can see the entire structure right here. And that's really everything you need to know about writing an effective cold email and formulating your cold email script. So, ladies and gents, now let's talk about how to set up Lemlist. So in terms of setting up Lemlist, you're going to need two things, a domain and a fully set up email address. Now, Lemlist is a software which allows you to automate the delivery of multiple emails a day, schedule automatic follow-ups, and monitor your email campaigns. Now, in terms of how to actually set it up, if you created your domain and email using Google Workspace, you can easily connect it using the link right here. In terms of connecting your email provider, go to the team section of settings and enter in your agency websites here. You can see right there. Now, once you've entered your domain, Lemlist will offer values to enter into your domain's DNS settings. Okay, so you can see that right here, and you can just copy it all over. Now, if you have purchased your domain through Google, go to Google Domains. Next, go to your list of domains, click Manage. On the left-hand side, go to DNS. Okay, you can see that right here. Scroll to the bottom of the page to Custom Resource Records. Change A to CNAME. Copy the host value into the name box. Copy the value into the domain name. And once you've entered this, click Set Up My Tracking Domain. Please note it may take up to 72 hours to populate, so don't worry if it doesn't work straight away. And by the way, if any of this sounds confusing, as I said, like just, the plug and play is available right below. It's actually really, really simple. Like it will take you 45 seconds. It's, especially with Google domains, it's all relatively easy to change the DNS and the CNAME and stuff like that. So yeah, just reread over these instructions. This is everything you need right here. So ladies and gents, now let's talk about how to actually create a Lemlist campaign. Now, in terms of creating a Lemlist campaign, here's what you'll need. You'll need a warmed up email address, a Lemlist account, and an email script. Now, when you first access app.lemlist.com, you'll be presented with this screen right here. Now, on the bottom left hand, you can actually go ahead and click New Campaign. And by the way, these are all have hyperlinks as well. Now, use your own naming convention, however you want to structure it. Select an emoji, it's not important, but do it nonetheless, and create a label. Now, labels are useful for analyzing reporting later. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to click Next. Then you're going to click CSV to enter emails manually. You can see right here, upload CSV. Now, if you upload a .csv file, Lemlist will automatically match fields. Right, as you can see right here, it'll actually go ahead and automatically match them. And CSV is usually what you should get pretty much every time. And then you're going to click Next. Now, whilst Lemlist offers a vast selection of email inspirations, I believe you should still create your own templates and scripts that you are confident in. So you're actually going to select blank rather than using one of their sort of email templates. Next, add your first email outreach. Make sure to include a subject line, as this can be used for future emails in your sequence. Now, once you've inputted this, click Add a Next Step. You can see right here, and lets you create multiple steps. Now, you can leave the subject line blank if you would like to use the same subject line as the previous step. Choose the number of days you would like to wait to send the next step. Note, you can select that if a lead replies, they will not receive the next step. And that's very important, that if you have a full automation flow going and then they responded and now you guys are talking in a manual in the arena of a manual personalized one-on-one conversation, then obviously you don't want them getting the automation emails as time goes by. And then input the next message. Now you can repeat this process with multiple messages as you can see right here. And then you're going to click Next. Now choose a schedule, and you can either do your local time zone or the one that would best apply to the location you are reaching out to. And next, you want to select that you will only send messages on weekdays, leave in the default times and waiting period before sending messages, as you can see right there. Select the email address you will send the email through, and to stop sending messages when a lead replies. That's very, very important. And then you're going to go ahead and you are going to create the campaign. Finally, review the emails to be sent to each individual lead. While you can insert individual icebreakers, this is your chance to include final notes or variations per lead. So ladies and gents, the action step for today is to set up your first mock Lemlist campaign. As I said to you guys, this would be a very heavy plug and play module. So once again, you can refer to that to see any steps. But when it comes to email, both manual and automated, have fun with it. Like have fun with it. Let it be your little lab, your little testing arena. Like try everything, try different variations, try long form, short form. While I have given you guidelines here in terms of the cadence, in terms of the structure of it, that is, that's the recommended, right? The recommended structure and cadence. But at the end of the day, try your own one. As I said, when you start to have fun with this stuff, then, it really does become effortless. So on that note, go out there, be a crazy mad scientist, try a bunch of stuff when it comes to email, and you will reap the rewards and the benefits from it. So ladies and gents, I hope you guys enjoy this module. I'll catch you in the next one.